Hello everyone, and welcome to our exploration of Amazon Web Services, the powerhouse behind the digital world. Today, we are diving deep into the heart of AWS Global Infrastructure. Get ready for an exciting journey where we demystify the technology driving the cloud. Let's get started. In the realm of cloud computing, several fundamental concepts shape the architecture and functionality of global services like Amazon Web Services, AWS. Let's unravel these concepts to understand how they optimize digital experiences for users worldwide. Our journey begins with AWS Regions. Imagine these as massive technology hubs strategically scattered across the globe. Each region is like a digital metropolis, housing a cluster of data centers, each packed with cutting-edge technology. In Amazon Web Services, AWS, a region is a separate geographical area, such as a specific country or continent, where AWS has multiple data centers. Each region is designed to be completely isolated from other AWS regions to achieve the highest possible fault tolerance and stability. AWS has 25 regions globally, and each region consists of multiple availability zones. Availability zones are essentially data centers within a region that are isolated from each other in terms of power, cooling, and networking to ensure fault tolerance. AWS customers can choose specific regions to host their resources based on factors like proximity to end users, compliance requirements, and disaster recovery needs. Here are a few key points about AWS regions. Geographical spread. AWS regions are spread across the Americas, Europe, Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and Africa. Each region is further divided into multiple availability zones. Resource availability. The availability of AWS services and features may vary between regions. Some services are launched in specific regions first and then expanded to others based on demand and infrastructure readiness. Data residency and compliance. Organizations can choose specific regions to ensure that their data resides within a particular country or jurisdiction, meeting legal and compliance requirements. Data sovereignty. Disaster recovery. Regions play a critical role in disaster recovery strategies. By replicating resources across regions, businesses can create robust and geographically redundant architectures to ensure business continuity in case of regional failures or disasters. Service endpoints. Each AWS region has specific service endpoints. When you interact with AWS services programmatically or through the AWS Management Console, you specify the appropriate region to direct your requests to the desired data center. Within each region lies a set of fortresses known as availability zones. These AZs are engineered to be completely isolated from each other. If one encounters a dragon or a technical glitch, the others stand strong, ensuring your applications and data stay safe and accessible. Within each region, there are multiple availability zones. Each availability zone is essentially a data center or a group of data centers with its own power, cooling, and networking. These zones are physically separate yet connected via high-speed networks. Availability zones provide redundancy and fault tolerance. If one zone faces issues, others can continue operations, ensuring high availability for applications. According to the latest update on the official AWS webpage, the AWS cloud spans 102 availability zones within 32 geographic regions around the world, with announced plans for 12 more availability zones and 4 more AWS regions in Canada, Malaysia, New Zealand, and Thailand. It provides various advantages, such as security. Security at AWS starts with our core infrastructure. Custom-built for the cloud and designed to meet the most stringent security requirements in the world, our infrastructure is monitored 24/7 to help ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data. All data flowing across the AWS global network that interconnects our data centers and regions is automatically encrypted at the physical layer before it leaves our secured facilities. You can build on the most secure global infrastructure, knowing you always control your data, including the ability to encrypt it, move it, and manage retention at any time. Availability. AWS delivers the highest network availability of any cloud provider. Each region is fully isolated and comprised of multiple AZs, which are fully isolated partitions of our infrastructure. To better isolate any issues and achieve high availability, you can partition applications across multiple AZs in the same region. In addition, AWS control planes and the AWS Management Console are distributed across regions and include regional API endpoints, which are designed to operate securely for at least 24 hours if isolated from the global control plane functions without requiring customers to access the region or its API endpoints via external networks during any isolation. Performance. The AWS Global Infrastructure is built for performance. AWS Regions offer low latency, low packet loss, and high overall network quality. This is achieved with a fully redundant 100 GB fiber network backbone, often providing many terabits of capacity between regions. AWS Local Zones and AWS Wavelength, with our telco providers, provide performance for applications that require single-digit millisecond latencies by delivering AWS infrastructure and services closer to end users and 5G connected devices. Whatever your application needs, you can quickly spin up resources as you need them, deploying hundreds or even thousands of servers in minutes. Scalability. The AWS Global Infrastructure enables companies to be extremely flexible and take advantage of the conceptually infinite scalability of the cloud. Customers used to over-provision to ensure they had enough capacity to handle their business operations at the peak level of activity. Now, they can provision the amount of resources that they actually need, knowing they can instantly scale up or down along with the needs of their business, which also reduces cost and improves the customer's ability to meet their users' demands. Companies can quickly spin up resources as they need them, deploying hundreds or even thousands of servers in minutes. Flexibility. The AWS Global Infrastructure gives you the flexibility of choosing how and where you want to run your workloads, and when you do, you are using the same network, control plane, APIs, and AWS services. If you would like to run your applications globally, you can choose from any of the AWS regions and AZs. If you need to run your applications with single-digit millisecond latencies to mobile devices and end users, you can choose AWS Local Zones or AWS Wavelength. Or if you would like to run your applications on-premises, you can choose AWS Outposts. Global footprint. AWS has the largest global infrastructure footprint of any provider, and this footprint is constantly increasing at a significant rate. When deploying your applications and workloads to the cloud, you have the flexibility to select a technology infrastructure that is closest to your primary target of users. You can run your workloads on the cloud that delivers the best support for the broadest set of applications, even those with the highest throughput and lowest latency requirements. If your data lives off this planet, you can use AWS Ground Station, which provides satellite antennas in close proximity to AWS infrastructure regions. Customers are increasingly choosing AWS to host their cloud-based infrastructure and realize increased performance, security, reliability, and scale wherever they go. For the 12th year in a row, AWS is evaluated as a leader in the 2022 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Cloud Infrastructure, and platform services, placed highest in ability to execute axis of measurement among the top 8 vendors named in the report. Now, let's talk about edge locations. Think of these as magical portals scattered across the world, ensuring swift delivery of content to your fingertips. Edge locations are dispersed data centers or server points of prisons, POPs, worldwide. They cache and deliver content to end users with minimal latency. Acting as intermediaries between content sources and users, edge locations ensure fast loading times for websites, applications, and streaming services. They play a pivotal role in content delivery networks, CDNs, like Amazon CloudFront, offering global scalability, redundancy, and efficient content distribution. In simple terms, edge locations act as caching hubs, making your favorite videos, images, and websites load at lightning speed. They're the reason your content delivery feels almost instantaneous. Now, let's talk about regional cache. Regional caching involves storing frequently accessed content in multiple availability zones within a specific region. When users request content, it's served from the nearest edge location. If the content isn't present, the edge location fetches it from the origin server and caches it locally. This strategy enhances content delivery speed, reduces latency, and ensures seamless user experiences, even during high demand. And there you have it, a glimpse into the marvels of AWS Global Infrastructure. From regions and availability zones to edge locations and the global network, AWS has woven a digital tapestry that empowers businesses, innovators, and dreamers around the world. Thank you for joining us on this adventure through the cloud. Stay tuned for more tech explorations, and remember, the cloud isn't just a place, it's a world of endless possibilities.